Welcome to the IVM Podcast Network. Hi, this is Amit Doshi, and I wanted to thank each and every one of our listeners. It's been 2 years since I founded IVM, and it's been an amazing 2 years. We wanted to learn a little bit more about who is listening to our shows, and so we put together a short survey. The survey is anonymous, and we aren't going to be collecting any personal information. I would really appreciate it if you could take a couple of minutes out of your day and go to ivmpodcast.com/survey and fill it out. Thanks, and please keep listening.
You're listening to TFG Football.
What's up, everyone? Well, excuse my lethargic sound and tone. It's just that the weather is taking a toll on me. But I'm really excited for today. It's a big day. A lot of things, a lot of emotions going through. If you're an Indian football fan, you will definitely know that. Anxiety, nervousness, excitement, a lot of stuff, the adrenaline rush. And probably when the clock hits 5, it will be rushing even more. The reason I'm talking
about this... And it will be on TV.
Yeah, exactly my point. That's exactly that's what I was coming to. Otherwise, I wouldn't say all of this, no. So 5 p.m. it's on DD Sports. Well, kudos to them and whoever's arranged it. I mean, big kudos to them. Thank you so much for finally having this on telecast. It's a big thing. Finally, you're taking Indian football seriously, and finally the fans. As one of the tweets I was reading, I forgot who tweeted it, saying that expect the highest TRP DD Sports for this. So it is true. Now, before we talk about the big preview, as usual, you heard Kevin and Chiranjeev giggle in between. That's because I give them a little more space. Let me talk in the first half and I'll give them the mic. Now, as I said before we talk about the big preview, there's news that we spoke about yesterday that, probably the dates, the final venues will be announced for the Under-17 FIFA World Cup, and it was. It was announced yesterday towards the second half of the day. Now it stands like the Salt Lake Stadium gets the final, and Guwahati and Navi Mumbai respectively get the semi-finals, which is good thing. I think one negative point where most of the Mallus who are into sports and into the journalistic field tweeted, and even which I agree to, is that Kochi is a big letdown on their part. Whoever the officials were working for the stadium, a big letdown there because no big games are happening there, which is quite something taking away from the fans over there. But otherwise, this is how the group stages look like. Group A will be taking place in Navi Mumbai, that's the DY Patil. Group B in Delhi. Group C in Goa. Group D in Kochi. Group E in Guwahati. And Group F in Kolkata, respectively. Now, one other good thing, if fans in Mumbai can watch their national team play, the Under-17 Indian team, because they are placed in Group A and they'll be playing in DY Patil. Now,
that has not been decided yet, has it?
Yeah, but then the Group A stage it's kind of there, right? So it might be. You never know.
I mean, the host team usually gets A1, so.
Yeah, mostly. The draws will be announced soon. I think in July. That's where
7 July.
Yeah, 7 July, and we'll get you all the other details about this as we have been getting you every day. So whatever comes up, we'll definitely talk about it. Now moving on to something which will be a daily thing that we'll be talking about until the merger happens, or probably even the merger happens, to be talking about it. ISL. Now there's a news that franchisees are going up to clubs for contract. What exactly is happening, Chiranjeev?
No, it's the franchisee contract that has been given to East Bengal and Mohun Bagan.
Okay.
So there's a bit of information about this. Some misleading articles came out. The thing is that that's not the only contract they are considering. Like they've gotten other offers from sponsors who want to go into ISL and fund the team. So it's a bit of a hodgepodge. Lots of people confusing between the franchisee contract and the sponsor proposals. So it seems like for the franchisee contract, you'll have your franchisee fee. I think that's around 10 crore, and you will have other different little clauses included, like you're gonna get only a certain percentage of the central revenue share, and you're gonna have to use whatever event management company that ISL says for organization of matches, things like that. And apparently Even some co-sponsors have been specified by IMG Reliance for clubs to be used. So all of that is being discussed. There's also the new sponsors who want to come in, and they're saying we want majority shares in the football team. We want the intellectual property rights and all that stuff. And so a lot of the terms apparently are not acceptable to the clubs at all at this point. So a lot of people are already freaking out about this, saying, okay, they are rejecting this, they are rejecting that. The clubs will stand united and they will not accept terms that are detrimental to their own control or own independence or something like that. But the thing is that the first offer is always a bit exaggerated from the sponsors or the franchisees. So don't be surprised if the clubs reject a couple of drafts and it becomes a back and forth, and there are negotiations, and the third or fourth time around everybody comes to an agreement, because that's how these deals work out. Everybody wants as much of the share of the pie for themselves. So the good news is that I have learned that on Saturday, East Bengal and Mohun Bagan officials unofficially had a meeting within themselves. So they realized that they have got the leverage here. ISL wants East Bengal and Mohun Bagan because you need the big three from I-League to justify the new national league.
Yeah,
right.
And you need competition right up there.
Yeah, you need that, and without expansion, there is no growing ISL. So all that stuff. So what it appears is that they're consulting lawyers and they want to put fight this together, which is a rare thing for East Bengal and Mohun Bagan to do. They want to come together and stand up for each other and get the best out of these deals for themselves. So expect this to be a long process, even if I have no doubt in my mind. I've been saying this for the last 1 year that the merger is going to happen. East Bengal and Mohun Bagan are going to play in ISL in 2017-18, but even if that bit is more or less agreed upon, the terms are going to be debated over and over again, and expect that to last till May, I think. So we won't see either side just come out and say outright that okay, this is the agreement and this is what we're going to do for another couple of months.
Okay. Well, I hope that cleared up a lot of confusion that some of the articles were creating yesterday around doing the rounds. I hope that cleared. And now let's move on. That was a bit of thing that we need to clarify from our Indian football man, giving you some gyan over it.
I think the way things are warming up and there are news bits coming up in here and there about ISL contracts being floated around.
Yeah.
So although it's contrary to what the AFI officials stated in between that we might not have the merger this year, we are still thinking about. So then now these news bits really help us to understand that there are things working in the background behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And it's likely towards the end of the year we might just see something kicking off.
Yeah, of course. They have to. They have no
No,
option.
November ISL kicks off. Na? And one thing you need to understand, like every time one of those big AIFF officials went out and said, no, 2017-18, we're not going to have the merger. You need to understand that AIFF has zero say in this.
Yeah.
Okay, AIFF are not in control. They are not making any decisions. They're not even coming up with the terms.
But then now AIFF does have IMG Reliance officials inside their committee.
Yes, because as we said in the show, because ISL is going to be the national league now, it can't be privately owned. So IMG Reliance need to put their people in AIFF technical committees and important committees. So that they can keep control over ISL. So
that's very smart.
That's how the game is being played now.
Now the puppets are in the same business, not ruling from outside.
If you can't
it's no longer like behind the scenes.
If you can't make the tournament as an official league, you make the committee as
unofficial. Yeah, that's how it is. That's how it works in India. Moving on, let's talk about the good things now. The big preview, the big match that's going to happen later today at 5 p.m. kickoff. Crazy stuff. Myanmar versus India, Asian Cup qualifier. Everyone's waiting for this day, and the day is here, folks. Nothing less of Probably. We know of the thing that, India were defeated 9-1, probably back in the early 90s or 80s.
70s.
Yeah, the 70s when they played. Well, that was crazy. So, hope that we are a better team today. It looks like that. So,
The last time these guys played, I think Myanmar defeated us in India.
1-0.
That was pretty bad. Yeah, and that was a bad day. So it becomes like a part of that myth that Myanmar is that one team that we always struggle against.
Yeah.
Which I don't think should be much of a concern this time. I think like what Constantine was trying to do against Cambodia is going to have a very different outlook, and we will see a much more stable India side in this game.
Yeah, definitely. Now let's kickstart the pointers we want to talk about. Let's first look at the Indian squad. Kevin, do you want to see Robin Singh up there after watching?
No, really no, because he's not 100% fit first of all, and he doesn't have the touch that we've seen him getting back in the East Bengal later game, not even the start. So Robin Singh is definitely no for me. JJ must start, and JJ with Sunil Chetri along with Lindo. The triangles that started happening in the second half of the last friendly is what we want to see. How that will give the confidence for the wingers. Which we talked about last time. The wingers were not in play. When you have these three getting those triangles in the midfield, you know that there is a lot of space for the wingers to move around. And Robin Singh doesn't fit in this. So, yes, JJ has to start, and probably Vineet can pair him up up front if they plan to go with 4-4-2.
Okay, Chiranjeev, your thoughts on that?
I think. I would partly agree with Kevin, but I think Constantine, believes in Robin a bit. So even if he was not at his best against Cambodia, he will get a second chance.
Yeah.
It will be JJ and Robin up front. And you will once again have that triangle working for them. The Sunil, JJ and Eugenson. So that not only gives more room for the wingers, and I'm pretty sure he will start the traditional wingers here. Udanta will definitely get a start, but it will also give Robin more room to move around, because if you see the way the entire midfield was outnumbered and the wings were not working well, that also hampered Robin Singh's game in the last match, and he's not somebody who like goes out and creates moves.
Yeah,
he can be the target man.
Yeah.
See, if you don't give him enough support structure, he's not going to play well. So if Robin gets a bit more room to himself, because JJ and these others are putting some pressure on the defense, then he creates those moments. He's under less pressure. He can just flick it to him, and he will score from a very awkward angle that will take everybody by surprise.
Yeah.
So I think like if you prime it up enough for him, Robin Singh can do well in a game like this. But just like that's the only concern. I would not usually have this concern, but anyway, Constantine pretty much evoked it against the Cambodia game. So I'm thinking like, what if he plays somebody out of position again?
Yeah.
But I would bet 70% chance he does not do that.
Yeah. Now, what about the midfield? We saw that how much space we gave the Cambodia team in the first half. And it's so much space that they had enough time. They didn't have to struggle to get the ball. Okay, so how does that look? We saw two good players, someone like Lindo and Borges look helpless. Okay, so what do you think? Yes, we know Stephen Constantine knows his team really well, and he knows what is the importance of this match, and he will put his best 11. But talking about the midfield, Kevin, what do you have to say?
I think this was a team that played after a long time. So any position or any department like an attack or a defense will look a bit shaky in the first 15-20 minutes. So that was probably the reason we found the midfield a bit not at the best.
Yeah.
So the idea about playing Borges along with Lindo is Lindo is a more creative and more advanced midfielder, and he creates most of the runs that most of the through balls, or creates the space for the wingers to move around. And Borges is the other way around. He's more balanced. He's more defensive. He's the one who gets in those tackles. He does not let in the penetrative passes come in from the middle. So that was the idea of playing an attacking and a defensive central midfielder. But again, your wingers, as in not the wingers, your left and right midfield are the ones who are required to play closer to these two.
Right.
So that was absent. That's the reason we felt there was a space that was being created in the center. It's fine that Borges does start, but I believe Milan Singh can be a better player than Borges in this setup.
Okay.
But we haven't seen him as much as Lindo has. So probably he might continue with the Borges and Lindo combination in the center of the midfield.
Well, Chiranjeev, what's your take on that? Like what Kevin just said about taking Milan Singh ahead of Borges.
Yeah. Well, we are missing Prannoy, aren't we?
Yeah, big
Bagan
time.
is missing Prannoy. An Indian team is also missing Prannoy. He was just perfect for that position. The proper henchman who just executes all the moves that try to come down the middle. But Milan Singh, I would have a lot of faith in. But again, Constantine has this affinity for tall players. So Roland Borges, maybe he is still rough around the edges, but with enough game time, he can become like a technically perfect defensive midfielder. We know he's got the attitude for it.
Yeah.
Does not get scared when running into tackles and all that stuff. So he's made of some solid metal. So I don't know if he had a 1 or 2 days he can have a technically off day, but he's still got the stuff. It's like you just want to use him. He's got the perfect physique and the potential to be effective in this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So even though Milan Singh is around, he'll probably go with Roland in this game.
Yeah, looks like it. Also about how the experience counts as well, right? Now I think the back four is the most crucial part, right? In any game that we play, and we do have faith in our back four, and we know how big a role Sandhu can play here. His stature and his he's got the experience of playing in the European region. Now also to support him, we need a good four, because we saw about. I know we are kind of taking the Cambodia match here, but I'm pretty sure Stephen Constantine was just testing his bench strength or how the newcomers will play, and he was trying around over there. But our definitely four should be, Jingan should definitely start here, because we saw the difference that he got in the second half, and this looks like he will be there, right? So, Kevin, why don't you kickstart over here about the back four?
The point I had made last time. Sandesh and Anas are already fit to be that central, rock. You require them in case there's a gap created in the midfield. Sandesh has that ability to pick up the ball, just carry it forward, and float in a diagonal or a long ball.
Yeah, right.
So that is going to be useful, because you need those tackles coming in time. And Jingan with his experience, and Anas, you just have to give credit to him, the way he played his first game for India. He will require his support, Jingan's support. So that is all said. Cardoza should not start.
Yeah.
He's just he was given chance. It was a friendly game, but he was out of place, and he looked shaky all the while.
Yeah.
So he is definitely no, and probably we might just see Jerry if given a chance. He's proved his talent time and again in the ISL, in the I-League. So I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a chance. If not, at least in the starting lineup, at least a second half role for him.
So again, the problem there would be the height factor, right?
No, I wouldn't agree with that, because Myanmar, just like Cambodia, do not have very tall players. Even in the back line or your up front. They do not have players who can reach out for the ball. And Jerry, his talent, height does not matter.
Yeah.
We've seen him compete against taller players in both I-League and ISL, and he's come up brilliantly. He's one of those examples whom you can tell and boast about that height really doesn't matter in football unless you are technically sound to win those aerial balls or get those tackles right.
Of course, I was just getting that fact out that I was always in favor of height does not matter in football. Go ahead, Chiranjeev.
The whole idea is that, I think this guy, Jerry, is a better choice than Fulganko Cardozo in this game. But again, while Constantine is prone to making experiments in friendlies and sub-championship games and stuff like that. In Asian Cup, he may not try out many too inexperienced players in this stage. But I think like whatever that however that plays out, that will be aside. But one thing I'm worried about is Arnab Mandal. He had a lot of hesitation towards tackling in the last game. He was tracking back. I'm not even sure what was his entire outlook. Maybe it was playing on this artificial turf that he did not like. Maybe that artificial turf is not as good as Barasat or the other turfs he's used to playing at. So whatever happens, he hopefully will just try to put out his best in this game. But I think the back four that I would like to see in this game is again Sandesh, Anas, Pritam, and Arnab.
Yeah.
So I'm not even sure if Jerry or Cardozo should be considered. Just use these four. They are at this point most technically gifted and have the right mix of experience in the middle. So just put them out there. Use Jerry as a substitute if you have to, but just don't mess around with the back four in this game, because had we not seen some great saves from Gurpreet Singh Sandhu or those brilliant clearances from Anas Thodika, we would have been in trouble against Cambodia.
Yeah, absolutely.
We don't want to repeat here.
Yeah, exactly. And these four that you picked names look really highly experienced, and I'm pretty sure even Sandhu will be in full confidence seeing them in front of him. Now, moving on to the opponent's side. First, let's talk about what Kevin did the story on. He did a slider story on these 4 players to watch out from the Myanmar team. Now, Kevin, we start with you, of course. And I think from the 4 players, the list, I think now, excuse me for the names, mispronunciation of the names, but I am pretty sure this guy, Coco, and the other player, the captain of their side, Yan Ong Kyo. Yeah, these two look deadly among those 4. What do you have to say about that?
The first thing that we talk about Myanmar team is the average age. It's much lesser than India's. They have the most experienced player who is 30, plays at the goal, and then you have the captain.
Yeah.
So these guys form the back line. And when you know that the experience is at the back, it's a stable player. It's a stable team. And coming back to the defense, they do not have tall players like India do have. So it's not reliable on aerial winning battles. It's more of a midfield battle for them.
Okay.
And these 4 players that we picked out, it's the 2 play in the defense. First is David.
Yeah.
This guy, 27-year-old. He's playing one of the top teams in the Myanmar National League. Then you have Kwa. Yeah, he's not an extremely defensive player. He plays just ahead of the defense. He's more of a balancing role. Just like if you have a 4-1 formation, you'll have this guy playing in the role just above the defense. And his role is actually somewhat like playing just restoring the balance in case it gets disrupted.
Okay.
If you have a triangle that's going out in between the Indian players, you'll have the captain coming into this play and disrupting them.
Okay.
So that's his major role over here.
Okay.
And the forward line, this is interesting. They've got a 22-year-old, they've got a 20-year-old who makes the forward line.
Yeah.
Banking on the experience, they've come up to the junior ranks, playing the under-19 and in the under-19 and the 20 for the national team. And that's the reliability that they have on these guys to get the goals. This is interesting by the fact that even at 20, they've been playing for the national sides and they've been capped almost 11 or 12 times.
Yeah, this one play that you've written about, Myo Tun, if I'm not wrong, the way I pronounced. He's 22 years old and he's already played 11 times. He already has 11 caps for the national team, and I think, wow, that says a lot.
Yeah, see,
right?
that's the mix-up that they've done. The experience is kept at the back, and the young, fresh talent is kept up front. You can expect a lot of running from these players. You can expect the wing coming into play. You can have the midfield just creating a chaos for the Indian defense line. So that's about these 4 players. Keep an eye on them. They might be just the ones who can create all the challenges that India have.
Yeah. Chiranjit, what do you have to say about this? Where we saw these...
I don't know how much of the young players will be effective. I don't really think they have played any team that's in the caliber of India recently. I mean, we were like ranked 132, but I think the team has the quality to be in the top 100. But taking a look at this, Kevin mentioned about the 2 forwards, young forwards. Maybe it's Aung Thu and Swan Lang Mang. So these two make a good pairing in the the friendly games or whatever. But I think they should look at Kyao Koko. I mean, the guy is not much older. He's 24. Plays for Yangon United, which is I think like the one of the biggest clubs. Let's say the Bengaluru FC of Myanmar National League. So all these players are available for them to pick up, and they bring a lot of experience. And if I'm not mistaken, Kyao Koko has some goals. I think he has the most number of goals among everybody put together. So it's a question of, for Myanmar, let's just put it bluntly, they're not going to create too many chances. Okay, it's not going to be like they will have a lot of space. They will have their way with India's defense. If Constantine picks a stable defense, we will be able to mostly stop them. Okay, so it will be about just 3 clear chances maybe in the entire game. Right. So they will have to score 2 goals in that because India is going to score, and they will have to defend like crazy. So that's the idea for them. They need to just make good on those 2 or 3 chances that they get. So they should look at least one guy who's got a good record in the international circuit, and he can without doubt capitalize on those chances. So I think Kyao Koko will start. I think Yan Ong Kwao, the guy who Kevin talked about, the guy who is the disruptor. So maybe Roland Borges gets put on him. Just a disruptor on the disruptor. Just guard him. Just protect the triangle. Just put somebody on this guy. Disrupt his movement when he tries to come in. Maybe that might produce some results. Otherwise it's fine. It does not seem like somebody you should worry about too much. Just India should play their natural game. Just keep their shape. Do not get drawn into overly tense situations. And just be cool-headed, because this is in the end this is a 4-team koala group, and it's an away match. So do not put yourself out there like everything is on the line. So just be a bit conservative. Try to go for the 3 points. Even if you get 1 point, that's not entirely damaging. Although I obviously do not want to see the points dropped here. Just play that calculative game. We'll see what happens.
Well, finally we come down to the prediction. If I had to ask you all, you just said probably, but if I had to ask you, how many goals will India score or the Myanmar team will score? Kevin, scoreline prediction now. Goals.
It might be just a goalless draw. That's what I feel. But if India do manage, they should be able to put in 2. So it's either a 2-0 for India, or it's going to be a goalless draw. Okay.
Chiranjit?
I think India has the potential for 2 goals, but I'll just give 1 goal to Myanmar here.
Okay. So
just to be nice.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
One is being very boring and saying it's going to be goalless or 2-0 victory, which is good. The other one is saying, other one just wants to be nice to Myanmar, so giving them 1, but it's going to be 2 to India, so it's 2-1. Let's see what happens. I will say after the match. That was the score.
We'll ask you.
Yeah. Ask you tomorrow on the first thing, okay? I will say the score then. Now that's all, folks. So today I hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you had an extensive session of discussion on this preview. If you want to know more, you know what to do. If you don't, get onto our website, thefangirls.com, and you know what to do else. The slider story that we mentioned is up on our website. Do read it. And also many more things about relating to this, what Constantine said, what Sunil Chhetri said about all of these matches. You can check out that as well. Now, if you're listening to our show on YouTube, hit the like, share, subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell icon so you get updates of our new episode. Also, you have to do is follow us on Twitter. TFG Football is the Twitter handle. You can also talk to us directly. Chiranjit is as Chiranjit Oja. Boza_Kevin. Suju Matthew 94. That's my Twitter handle. You can also listen to our podcast on Audio Boom, SoundCloud, iTunes, and various other podcasting apps. Download the IVM Podcast app on Android and iOS. Have a great day, folks. Enjoy the match. It's on DD Sports, if not on Hotstar and GeoTV, and it's at 5 p.m. We also have live updates on our website, thefangirls.com, so you have a lot of things to do. 5 p.m. you know what to do. So do not waste your time and do anything else but watch the match. Come back to us tomorrow. We'll talk about it extensively once again, the review of the game. Have a great day, folks. Cheers.
Hey man, just help me out, man. I need some podcasts, man. I haven't had a fix in a week. Just need some.
Don't you worry about it. I got podcast galore for you, man. Just go to ivmpodcast.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Thanks, man. I'm gonna check it out.